Hello and welcome back. I'm your host, Zoe. This is the Self-Worth Club podcast where I help you rise above self-doubt and create a super strong belief in yourself and your worth so you can build a life you feel truly fulfilled by each and every day. Today, I want to dive deep into a topic that is so crucial to our well-being, and that is setting boundaries, drawing lines. And I think there's a common misconception with boundaries where people feel like you've got to be mean or you're going to hurt people's feelings setting them, or, people will think of you a certain way or won't like you as much, or these are not true. These are all myths, okay? Setting boundaries has helped me so much in my life with feeling empowered as fuck and also feeling just so confident in the direction of my life. How? Because when you have strong boundaries, it means that you are clear on what you want for your everyday life, what your limits are, who in your life is helping you grow or who's not. It means you're aware of and putting your goals and needs first. Because you know that filling your own cup is the only option to be able to give back to the world in the amazing ways that you really want to. You can't do it half full. And boundaries really help you keep it there. Keep you performing at your peak, showing up in the ways that you crave to show up, right? I hope that makes sense. The right boundaries really give so much to us and to the people around us. Your relationships are going to be so much stronger and more enjoyable when you have healthy boundaries as the foundation. And I'll be honest, it's not always easy, right? Many of us struggle, like I said in the beginning, with feelings of guilt or fear or rejection when it comes to asserting our needs. We worry about hurting other people's feelings or being seen as selfish, but the truth is, setting boundaries is an act of self-care and self-respect. It shows that you value your needs and prioritize your well-being. And that is so important and a really important lesson for other people to learn. So before I get into the how of setting boundaries, I want to give you some reminders surrounding them. Or maybe they're things you're just hearing for the first time today, but they're things I think you need to know. So, first, boundaries are your personal guidelines for how you interact with the world. They define what is acceptable and what is not. Another thing, your boundaries are unique to you and they might evolve over time. They probably will, in fact. And it is okay and really great to continually reassess and adjust them as you need. With that, asserting your boundaries is not selfish. I'll say it, I'll scream it from the rooftops. It is not selfish. It is necessary for healthy relationships and personal growth. It is also important to respect other people's boundaries just as you expect them and want them to respect yours. So mutual understanding and communication are really key here. I want you to also keep in mind that boundaries are not walls. They are bridges. They are guidelines, and they foster deeper connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Boundaries also empower you to be able to say no without the guilt attached and to say yes without resentment. They give you the freedom to live authentically. And lastly, I want you to remember that boundaries are not meant to restrict you in any way, shape, or form. They are meant to liberate you. Embrace them as tools for empowerment and growth, and watch your world expand. Seriously. So, how do we set boundaries with confidence and grace? I'll give you the super simplified Cliff Notes version so you can get your wheels spinning. as this practice really does take a lot of inner work and exploration, thought and guidance and constant refinement are needed for this as well. It's just like really anything else in yourself, in your growth journey, right? You're constantly working on it. You're constantly reevaluating and refining things. And it's beautiful because it's on that journey with you as you're growing as a person. Your boundaries can really grow with you. So they don't have to be perfect at first, but getting to know more about them is the key to just starting that snowball down the hill. So the first thing in setting boundaries that's really important is to know your worth. When you recognize your inherent value, you'll be less likely to tolerate behavior that doesn't honor or respect you. And I want to give you 5 ways that you can work to improve your self-worth. One is write a list of things that you admire about yourself. Acknowledging your skills or things that you like about yourself can really do wonders for improving your self-talk, which is one of the main components of having high or low self-worth. When you do this, try to get specific about things that are really meaningful to you. Don't be super generic. And if you're having a hard time, you can text a few close friends and ask them to give you some things that they love about you, or family members, or whoever. You can also, with this, try to keep a journal of positive things that you've done, or even keeping a gratitude journal can be really helpful for improving your outlook on life. Number 2 is stop being a people pleaser. When you have low self-worth, you feel obligated to say yes to everything because you don't want to let anyone down or make them think less of you or think you're selfish. And this causes you to feel easily overwhelmed and really stressed a lot of the time. Learning to say no is so important. Number 3, step outside of your comfort zone more often. Be willing to try new things, to enter difficult situations, and have pride in yourself for giving it a shot. Just this willingness to try new things, to step outside of your comfort zone, will raise your self-worth, even if it doesn't work out the way you thought it would. Just being able to put yourself out there like that should be celebrated every time you do it, no matter the outcome. You should be proud for stepping outside of your comfort zone. Number 4, stop the comparison game. If you find yourself constantly comparing to people on the internet, unfollow them as soon as possible. You should curate a world online and in person where the people around you lift you up, make you want to be better. So control that. And in your everyday life, you need to just keep in mind, it is you versus you. You're not in competition with anyone but yourself. Your progress and self-worth should never be tied to how well other people are doing. There's always going to be someone out there who got started sooner and is further ahead, or, had amazing connections and resources and just took off. Like, you can't compare your journey to theirs. And, you could be saying the same thing as someone else, and to these 10 people, they love it. They're like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. It clicks instantly. To the 10 people over here, they're like, this sounds like another language. I don't know what she's saying. Like, this makes no sense. Sometimes you just gotta find your people, right? Don't let the comparison game drive you crazy. It is not meant for you. Get out. Unfollow, unsubscribe, unfriend these people in real life too. Number 5, celebrate your wins, big and small. Did you practice positive self-talk today? Did you go work out? Did you drink all your water? Did you unfollow the person you were comparing yourself to, right? Acknowledge those feelings with confidence and pride every chance you get. It all adds up. The little things are what make the big goals happen. So you have to learn to celebrate your small wins along the way. That's also going to help give you that hit of dopamine, that motivation that you need to keep going to the end. Whereas if you wait until the big victory, it's going to be really hard to get there because you have nothing motivating you. You're not releasing any of that motivating chemical because you're not celebrating. I hope that makes sense. There's science behind that. All right, those are those 5 tips. And then the next thing that you need to focus on is communication. Communication is key in setting boundaries. You need to learn to clearly and assertively express your needs and limits to others. This really helps you set healthy boundaries that will just have you thriving in so many different aspects of your life. Remember that it's okay to say no and to prioritize your well-being instead of saying yes. I want to give you permission right here, right now. This is your permission slip. Take it from me to say no more often. It doesn't matter who it is or what's going on. If you have other things going on, if you don't have the capacity, say no. And just say it kindly, right? I really have no mental space for this right now. I want to help you so much. I can offer you a little bit of advice, but I can't be there at that time. I can't do this then. Maybe next week. Or find this other person to help. Or just straight up, I don't have the room. No. Don't even apologize. I was about to apologize. No. Right? Be kind about it. Let people know you don't have the space. And just say no and move on. And finally, practice more self-care. Practice more self-care. This is really helpful with setting boundaries. It's important that you set time aside for yourself to recharge and replenish your energy, because without filling your cup, you can't give to others. You're not your best version. You're not your best self. Self-care isn't selfish. It's essential for your well-being. And I know sometimes you feel guilty slowing down, like there's a million other things you need to get done. How can you pause to take a walk or take a nap or whatever? Like, are you crazy? Right? But think about this. You could push yourself on a day where you feel drained to get stuff done and you're like, I just have to do it. Can't pause for any of these things. It takes you 3 hours to do the task that you needed to do. Or what if you gave yourself the grace and the space to reset? And you took an hour to get some food, take a walk, whatever you wanted to do. Take a quick shower, put some makeup on, feel good. And then you got to work, and maybe it just takes you 2 hours to get that same task done. Because you feel re-energized, you feel good, you're going into it with clarity and space and being recharged. That is so possible. And you'll even probably have some energy left over for the rest of your day after that. Take that perspective and run with it, please. It will change your life. That saying that sometimes you just need to slow down to speed up is so true. You hear it often because it's true. And I know sometimes, like, saying all of this, it's like, okay, great. Sounds great in theory. I'll try to implement these things. I'll try to journal. I'll try to get introspective. But your head's just spinning. You're like, how do I really do this? Right? And what you really need is someone to just hold your hand and guide you through it. Like, how do I know my worth? What does that mean? And what kind of self-reflection do I need to do? What do I start with? What do I ask myself? What are the questions? And then how do you clearly and assertively express your needs without being mean? Like, how do you even do that? Give me examples. And on and on and on, right? With everything I just said. Well, if you resonated with that and with this chat and you need someone to walk you through each step of the way, then hi, hello, it's me. I have had this living in my brain for so long and it is finally finished. I created a boundary building course. It's 5 days long. The official name is Reinvention, and it is your doorway to reclaim your voice, set limits, and thrive unapologetically. I could not be more excited to bring it to you. Here's the deal. I want someone, ideally from the podcast, you, to be my pre-launch tester. This means that I'll give you the course for 50% off. And after you've gone through it fully and soaked in everything that I'm teaching you, you're going to just send me some notes on things that you want to see added to the course, maybe I could have like expanded on a topic that you think would have been helpful to the overall lessons. Edits, things you loved, whatever feedback you want to give me. And then I'm going to take it and add things, refine things, and make it even better so that I can officially launch it at full price to the rest of the world. And of course, you're going to get access to any edits I make as a result of the feedback you give me. But I think that would be so cool. I know it's an amazing course as it is, but the opportunity to give a podcast listener 50% off in exchange to make the course even better for other people is like so exciting. And then you get it early. So I'll tell you a little bit more about it if that sounds like something you'd want to do. Just send me a DM on Instagram at Zoe Boardtrager. And I'll link it in the show notes for you too, my Instagram link if you don't follow me. And then I'll send you the link to the course. So the breakdown, this is not your average course. You're not about to get 15 videos that bore you to death just dumping all the information out on you, right? It's not a string of podcasts. We are going to talk about boundaries, but we're gonna revolutionize really the way that you think about them, and it's going to empower you to seriously take action like never before. I want you to think bite-sized lessons, actionable steps, and real life results. No fluff, no filler, just practical tools and strategies that you can start using to implement what you're learning in the moment. It's going to have video lessons, journal prompts, guided meditations, case studies that you can evaluate, and so much more. I've got lots of different learning materials, so you're really captivated the whole way through this 5-day course. And listen, you're here for a reason. You clicked on this episode for a reason. You're still listening for the same reason, right? Maybe you're tired of feeling overwhelmed, burned out, or like you're constantly putting everyone else's needs before your own. Or maybe you're just so ready to step into your power, set clear boundaries, and reclaim that control of your life. Whatever brought you here, I want you to know that you've made the right choice, and I'm so excited to offer this to you. The link to the course will be added to the show notes once it's ready, so check there first. If you're listening a few days after this is released, it's probably there. If you're listening right away, it might be a couple more days, so send me a DM on Instagram so I know you want one of these pre-launch spots. I think 5 people. I think I'm capping 5 people. I was thinking maybe 10. 5 people for pre-launch spots at this 50% off price to help me like make sure it's perfect. And then after that, what you'll find in the show notes if you're listening after all of that is over will be the fully revamped course, perfect and ready for you. So either way, check the show notes. Let me know. Send me a DM. I am here for any and all questions. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode on boundaries and you learned something new. Thank you for tuning in. And I want to remind you, you are so worthy of love, respect, and all of the good things that life has to offer. Until next time, take care of yourself.